It's my first love, what I'm dreaming of.
Live not once, but many times. If only live once, it is good that life as a human, as a deity, or even as a brahma being in the most comfortable, where in the realm of life there is no suffering. Everything is full happiness. What's not good is that living as a ghost or a demon, who is always thirsty, hungry, as well as if you live as an asura, which is a kind of giant ghost or demon. The asura always suffers, even more so if you live in hell, hot and torture. Creatures who live in the four generate realms, namely those who live in hell, live as ghosts, as asura, and as animal. The most comfortable life, if it is said to be comfortable, is if living as an animal. Even thoughts, the pleasure of living as an animal are not the same. Life as a sewer rat is not as good as living as a sparrow, for example. Then why can live as a human, as a demon, as a deity, live in hell, and so on? The answer is, it is caused by behavior or actions in a previous life. If during his life a person does a lot of good deeds, then after he dies, he might enter heaven, or rather be born spontaneously in the deity realm as a deity being, in which deity realm, or as what deity, depend on how much or how large a collection of virtues he creates, because the deity realm has 6 levels. If during his life a person commits a lot of evil, then after that he will go to hell, or rather be born spontaneously in the hell realm. In the hell realm, which depend on how much or how big a collection of evil he creates, because the hell realm, his existence is also in stages. Although they suffer the same, but the level of suffering in his hell realm isn't the same. He can also be born as a ghost, as an asura, or as an animal. Ghosts, asuras, and animals are of various kinds. What will be born as with which type also depend on the behavior in the previous life. If born as an animal, then the way of birth isn't spontaneous. It must go through the womb of its mother, or as an egg before hatching, and is born in the life of the world. Born as an animal. The human realm and the animal realm are the same. Both realms are on earth. The other realms, the 29 realms, are realms that are invisible to ordinary people. The question then is, the living being was first born because of what and as what? The answer to this question are not really important. They don't bring any benefit, except that they are general knowledge. The most important thing is how we are able to do a lot of good for the sake of the next life. However, in order to have an answer, then the living being was born for the first time. It is because of the law of nature. The first appearance of a being, it is because the laws of nature dictate that the person concerned should appear or be born for the first time. The universe with all that is in it, when there are 31 realms of a life exists, because the laws of nature dictate that God, whose existence is believed by many people, can be logically considered as not a creature and not a person. God is so absurd, unthinkable, and unexplainable in words properly, can only be identified. And please note that identical doesn't mean the same. God can only be described or imagined as the feature of the Almighty, which is to make it easier for humans to understand when this world exists. This universe exists. This earth with everything both on the surface of the earth and in the poles of the earth exists. They are humans, they are animals, they are plants, etc. If you want to be identified, then God is identical with universal law, namely the law that has power over everything. So the universal law or God is omnipotent over all things, so that anything can happen, can exist, it can grow, it can be damaged. This universe can come to an end and can be reformed in a very long time, which can be said to be almost infinite. The law of karma, the law of sowing and reaping, or the law of cause and effect is one of the universal laws, which we need to deal with properly if we don't want to lose big but walk the path to salvation. The beginning of man appeared before becoming what he is today. It emerges from the Abhasara realm, which is one of the Brahma realm that are still in form, because they are also formless Brahma beings. The next question was, what was the first living being? What it looks like before living in the Abhasara realm and then migrating to earth, floating in the air in the form of a shimmering light. It is not known what it was or what it looked like. As to what and in what form, it is not known. Again, unknown. Fortunately, that is also not important. The most important things for all of us, once again, is to try as much as possible to do good. The next question again is, why do you and I have to exist? Should not exist so as not to experience suffering, not experiencing hunger, thirst, being left by a boyfriend, being left by a husband, being left by a wife, not having a job and having no salary or money, getting sick, dying, etc. The answer is, we all must exist. All must be creatures without exception. That is fire. So, therefore, the living beings are infinite in number, like this universe that has no limits. If there is a limit, then what is the shape outside the limit? It is hard, right? Yes, it is unlimited. Like a circle, this universe is without beginning and without end. The part or elements, namely the Earth, solar system, and galaxies, will be destroyed, which is called the apocalypse, but will be formed again, even though it takes a very long time. Nirvana or Nibbana, which is the ultimate goal of all life journeys of all beings. Moreover, that is without beginning and without end. Nibbana isn't the realm of life. The condition is unconditioned. If it is unconditioned, it is eternal, without beginning and without end. We are each individual, if we have successfully realized Nibbana, will not be born for the first time again. Just the another who has never been born for the first time. That's a brief description of this video, entitled Life Many Times. Hopefully useful all at inside. If you don't agree with the description in this video, please feel free to just ignore it and forget it. Think of this as a different understanding from another people or from the other different group peoples. To those of you who have watched this video to the end, I thank you very much. See you again in another video on this channel. May you always be healthy,
eager to live life,
love to do good, and always be happy. Bye bye.
Everyone can see there's a change in me. They all say I'm not the same kid I used to be. Don't go out and play, I just dream all day. They don't know what's wrong with me, and I'm too shy to say. It's my first love, what I'm dreaming of when I go to bed. When I lay my head upon my pillow, don't know what to do. My first love thinks that I'm too young, he doesn't even know. Wish that I could show him what I'm feeling, 'cause I'm feeling my first love. Mirror on the wall, does he care at all? Will he ever notice me? Could he ever fall? Tell me, teddy bear, why love is so unfair? Will he ever find a way, an answer to my plea? For my first love, what I'm dreaming of when I go to bed. When I lay my head upon my pillow, don't know what to do. My first love thinks that I'm too young, he doesn't even know. Wish that I could show him what I'm feeling, 'cause I'm